Hi, I'm Willowhead. I hope everyone's been having an excellent holiday season. I've been having a pretty okay one myself so far. Yes, so this year there's not as bad of a winter storm as there was last year, but there are a good few things going on in the world, including global conflicts. And just a reminder for anyone watching this video, genocide is still going on. It is up to us as people to continue to communicate about it as a society and to make sure that we demand our legislators change something about it, because I live in the United States and I can assure you we are not as bipartisan as we like to seem. So anyway, I released a lot of music in 2023, and I wanted to do another one of these year in reviews of Willowhead music. So I personally welcome you back to Willowhead's super cool, awesome thingy 2023. In the very beginning of 2023, I believe this was January.
Order!
It was January 20th, 2023 was when I released these songs. Willowhead's flagship album, 7 a.m. in Pittsburgh. This was a collection of songs I had been writing in near the ending half of 2022, from basically August 2022 to December 2022. And I finally released all of them in January of 2023. In fact, you'll notice that if you go back to last year's year in review of 2022 songs, all of the underscoring songs that weren't just the songs from 2022 are actually songs from 7 a.m. in Pittsburgh. The intro title crawl to the last one is When You're Around. And if you want to go back now to that video and check it, you can. But anyway, getting into the songs from 7 a.m. in Pittsburgh. The first one would be Dead Zone. Of course, I'm an indie rock artist, and I'm primarily focused on making things that incorporate indie/ethereal techno sound on top of rock guitars and things like that. But Dead Zone is the opening song to the album, and it sounds a lot different than the music I usually make. It incorporates a lot of different feelings from a lot of different people. I was inspired by this feeling of being caught in this constant headspace of, in some ways, thinking about death, in some ways thinking about mortality, but also in some ways thinking about just being dejected with the world. And I found myself, and I found other people around me, specifically someone who was really close to me, stuck in this headspace, and I just wanted to write a song to honor that and to talk about it a little bit. And so the song has a lot of ideas of grief incorporated into it, but I like that the ending has a happy turn. And in fact, it's my favorite part of the song when I finally say I'm gonna be happy, and the guitar and the synth start rolling up into the final conclusion of the song, and you get the most high energy chorus.
I can feel it in my soul. Now that I know you're out there. Now that I know you're.
So after that, we have the song When You're Around, which is a cute little song that I wrote based on a crush that I had. It's not any actual real-life instances that I was in. All the things described are things that I made up or things that were based on movie tropes, specifically like walking and getting ice cream and running across their lawn after getting off a plane. None of that ever happened to me. I was just being all silly and cute and stuff. I love the song, I love how it turned out, I love the energy of the choruses, and I really love the quiet portion right before the final chorus. My personal favorite thing about the song has to be the guitar playing on top of the pre-choruses, growing in intensity until it builds to the choruses of, what am I supposed to do? And I like how off the guitar sounds in terms of its musical structure to the rest of the chord that it's playing on top of.
We went to the beach together. Got me thinking, am I good enough? I go to hold your hand, I slip and almost drown. That's when I say, what am I supposed to do when you're around?
The song after When You're Around is Stars. Stars is a song that I'm very proud of. I like it most because sometimes I get down on myself about being a produced musician and not being a live musician, and Stars is all mostly live, almost entirely played through in one take, and it's a very beautiful guitar arrangement that was inspired by some things by Jonathan Coulton, specifically the song Nemesis by Jonathan Coulton. If you know the intro from that song, you'll feel that they sound maybe a little bit similar. It was a very sad moment in my life that turned out very well, which was Rex Orange County was accused of sexual assault by somebody, and this shattered me because Rex Orange County and his music, or I believe his name is Alex, and his music carried me through a lot of really difficult parts of my life and inspired me to write music the way that I do. And inspired my tastes, and he inspired me, and he informed so much of my decisions, and I couldn't feel more betrayed that he could do something heinous while also being an influential figure in my life. And I was processing through those feelings, and I wrote this entire song about idolizing people and how you're supposed to carry on when your idols turn out to be not so good. Well, it turns out, to the fullest understanding and investigation of the people that were involved in the court system. There is evidence that shows that Alex did not do the thing that he was accused of. This doesn't mean that he is free of guilt for anything, but it does mean in the specific situation and the specific accusation, it's most likely not true. And you can read more articles on it, but it was pretty damning when there was CCTV evidence that proved contradictions in witness stories and testimonies. This is a year in review video. This is not a video adjudicating Rex Orange County, but I felt immense relief that it turned out that Rex Orange County most likely did not commit this crime. My favorite part of the song, I have a lot of favorite parts of the song. I quite enjoy the final high note before the ending, but I really, really like the melody on the second half of the verses, pre-choruses, where I say I'm trying to be artful and make what I love, but every line's reminding me of when you broke it. The guitar for the song is not tuned to open E, but it sounds like it is because of the chord structure that I'm using, and I think that it's just a very rich, beautiful sound.
You gave me fire and a passion for life. You turned around and it stabbed like a knife when you broke it. When you broke it.
The next song of the album is You Don't Know, and You Don't Know is actually a song that I wrote a while before the album was released. It was somewhat over the summer, somewhat over the summer of 2022, and somewhat in August of 2022. I tried my hardest to make it have a little bit more of a rock sound, but I don't really have a very rocky voice. I come from musical theater, so I do my best, I do what I can, and I think I liked how it turned out. And it's a very angry song about somebody misrepresenting you, and I don't know why there are so many songs in this album about feeling misrepresented. It's basically a song about a person that you don't speak to anymore, a person who feels they've made up their mind about you and feel they understand the whole story about you, but they don't. If I could do this song again, because I redid it so many times when it first came out, but if I could redo it, I would, and who knows, I've been trying to remaster a lot of the songs from 7 a.m. in Pittsburgh for personal reasons. But if I could redo You Don't Know, I'd probably add some more cool guitar, because I just repeat the same guitar phrase, the same guitar solo from the beginning of the song into the bridge in the middle of the song. And if I could go back and redo it, I would change that bridge and maybe even add a little bit more intricacies, because I've actually gotten better at guitar in the meantime, and I might add some tapping or something cool like that. My favorite part of the song just has to be the chorus. I think it's got a good hook. The lyrics in the chorus are very cutting. They get across exactly what I want to get across in very short words.
And suddenly, you don't know anything about me. You just think what you needed to. You treat me like the worst thing that happened to you, unless it's true.
And here we are at 7 a.m. in Pittsburgh, the title song of the album, and an unexpected hit. I really didn't expect this song to be as powerful and meaningful to me as it ended up being. 7 a.m. in Pittsburgh is a song about losing someone, in a sense. I had recently gotten news that somebody I knew in my life who was very close to me would be leaving, and it was unlikely that I was ever going to have this access to their company and that relationship ever again. I was so close and almost reliant on them in some ways that I just had to parse through those feelings of what am I supposed to do if you're not here anymore. Started writing the song and started writing about how I'm looking down the street and I'm trying to enjoy what we have now, but I know that this bad thing is coming, that you're going to leave. And eventually the song resigns itself to saying, if you need to leave, then that's what you need to do and you should go. But it reflects exactly how I was feeling about it at the time, where it was, yes, you should leave, but I also need you. And so the only way I can get you to go is through this immense display of passion. And that didn't happen in real life, by the way. I don't think I'm the type of person to kind of explode at people when I really don't want them to leave me. But in this song, it was what was called for, and there was the feelings that were going on inside my head. My favorite portion has to be the entire bridge, obviously, but the end of the bridge after the big, 'cause I need you, that goes into me saying, I'll stay awake, I'll stay awake, I'll stay awake.
Honey, girl, I'll stay awake. I'll stay awake, I'll stay awake, I'll stay awake.
So after the tragedy that is 7 a.m. in Pittsburgh, we have a lovely light listening song called Home, which is a lovely romantic little song. It's based on some bossa nova chords. I've been practicing a friend of mine's song at the time, and it was bossa nova in style, so my fingers were already used to the shapes and stuff like that. So I wrote this song called Home, which is very romantic and light and lovely, and it brings up just a lot of things that were characteristic of my first semester at college, like waiting for somebody to get back from the bus after leaving for a break, or watching movies and feeling like in love and fuzzy during the movie. My favorite part of the song has to be this line in the second verse that I'm just so proud of. It came together accidentally, and it's so weekend to weekend we can still have fun. Just because I say weekend over it again. So weekend to weekend we can still have fun.
So weekend still have fun. But I gotta hide my feelings in front of everyone. I feel like sometimes I am obvious, that I want us to be and us when you're finally home.
After that, I have a song called We Weren't Us. And We Weren't Us is again about somebody leaving, but fun fact, it's not about the same person leaving. You'd think if you were trying to do your Swiftie fan into my brain and the lore of my life, you'd be like, oh, this is clearly the same person from We Weren't Us to 7 a.m. in Pittsburgh, but it's actually not. I just had a friend of mine who, and you can also see in We Weren't Us, there's way less like romantic subtext to it. We Weren't Us was just about a friend, and they decided to transfer schools, because I'm in university at the moment. They decided to transfer schools. They were leaving, and I wanted to write them a song about how much I appreciated them being around, and that they always had a place back here if ever they wanted one. And so the entire song's about our shared experiences, our real life experiences, about the mall that we went to, or being in Market Square in Pittsburgh. For this song as well, I would also say that I'm very proud of the chorus. I was proud of how my vocals came out. I have a lot of insecurities about singing higher in my range, because I find it more difficult to sing in a more typical high range, especially the more pop music and contemporary musical theater is written in. So I felt better on the notes that were higher in my range, and also the beautiful sound of the synth going under the guitar. It's a lovely combination to me. And also, I just like the sentiment of the lyrics, that in 10 months' time, it's gonna feel like you've never even met us yet. You might miss us now, it might feel like you're going away forever, but you're gonna get past this soon. And to some people, it might feel somber and it might feel sad that in 10 months my brain and my feelings will be over this hurt and how much I miss these people. But I think that's beautiful, because all that's left after that somberness goes away is a happy memory. And so I love We Weren't Us, and I miss this friend very much.
I won't lie, it's easy to forget. 10 months' time, it's like you haven't met us yet. I'll remember you scared by the bus. I will always remember when we were in us.
And those are all the songs that I originated in 2023. There are 2 other songs on the album 7 a.m. in Pittsburgh, but they're both songs from 2022 that I remastered, so I don't really feel the need to go over them again. Perhaps I'll make a video about what changed between the first one and the second one, but I don't know. My Fairy Without Pizzazz video didn't do amazing. I don't do it to be seen. I do it for the artistry of it, because I am creative. So that's 7 a.m. in Pittsburgh. This is the first album I am more than proud of. I've been making music since 2017, but I've been releasing music since 2019. And I was a kid in 2019 and was just stepping into the world of music production and music composition and all these things, and making more fully fledged songs with a full sound, like it sounds like a whole band's working on it. I was proud of what I made back then, but looking back, I know now that I can do better, and 7 a.m. in Pittsburgh was the proof that I could do better. I mean, for most of my life, most of my songs were too quiet. I didn't know you were supposed to compress and /limit the entire track when you were done with it. Haha, music production facts. But so all of my music just tended to be quieter than an industry standard. But I'm proud of 7 a.m. in Pittsburgh for being the first full album I released as Willowhead. A bunch of songs that are pretty solid, not even a single skip in my opinion. And so it turned out well. Yeah. Now, I released 2 singles in the year of 2023. The single that came after 7 a.m. in Pittsburgh was called Christine. I released it March 24, 2023, and I am a huge fan of this song. Close friend of mine is a really big fan of this song, and this goes out to you. Mwah. Christine is a song about hurt. You know, hurt's a very strong emotion. Songwriters be writing songs about hurt all the time. And this song is about being betrayed by somebody close to you, and specifically somebody who is not being fully honest with you about how they feel. So it has all these lyrics that evoke stage imagery. That was really important to me, that it's about this performance. That Christine was out here setting the stage, and that during the chorus, everyone's throwing roses and shooting at the sky. This real-life situation is being presented as though it were a performance, as though it were something to be seen, as though an audience was meant to watch it. And I loved this song because what I was going for was I just wanted a song that felt like an explosion, like there was glass flying everywhere, and the ruins that are left of what was my life at the time. I consider this song almost like a baptism by fire. And I even want to say that the art of the album cover was made to represent that as well, because it's this rose motif that appears all over the courses of the song, and this explosion of debris behind it. I also just adore the guitar tone I found. The guitar tone I found for the leading riff was just just perfect for me and for the song, and it has a little bit of like the wonk that I like, that's part of my style, but also has a little bit of the aggression that was necessary for the song. The song bounces back and forth between like a cooler sound versus like an angrier sound. My favorite part has to be the ending guitar. There's a canon of voices, and then afterwards the guitars come in and they do this trio of voices, and they just slay the end of the song, and then I come in singing an A natural. So I had a lot of fun making the song, and it took a lot of pain and a lot of hurt to come up with it, but I'm proud of what I made, and I'm proud of how it represents the time. And finally, to round off Willowhead's Super Cool Awesome Thing 2023, I finally released a song in August of 2023 called Forever Love. Forever Love is a song specifically about my girlfriend, who I'm still with today. We actually started talking, capital T, talking trademark, around this time last year, so it's very nice to be able to talk about this. And if you're watching, honey, I love you very much. Mwah. But this song's called Forever Love, and it's just about this idea of being in an infinite loop where you were like meant to meet this person, or you met this person in a past life, in whatever form you were in, and now you're back with them again. So saying it feels like I've known you longer than the months we've dated, the way things just click, you'd think it was dictated. It's just talking about how this connection and this chemistry, it feels like fate. I also like the song. It reminds me a lot of Dead Zone in terms of the musical elements in the chorus when it breaks into this big whoosh of sound, and it's very reverbed, and there's a lot of synths going. My favorite part of the song has to be, and this tends to be a trend, because I find in songs the bridge leading into the final chorus is the highest energy you're going to feel during the song, because it drops down a little bit or starts getting a little contemplative or changing the structure of the song, and then rockets into the final chorus with the maximum energy you can. My favorite part has to be the bridge and just the big notes that I'm singing at the end, where the reverb's going heavily and it feels like all the instruments, feels like everything's like falling around it. Also, just for your information, because I'm very happy about it, the Forever Love cover, my intentions were that you're looking at all of these streamers, all these straight long lines, and they to me look like different like existences. They're all next to each other, but there are so many of them, and they all represent us and this lifetime after lifetime that it feels like we've been going through.
I waited minutes to hours to years for forever, hoping for someone like you with no chance whatsoever. Now that we're great, I don't.
Well, would you look at that? We're all out of music from 2023 made by Willowhead. I hope those of you who are watching enjoyed listening to my music and have felt something emotional or made a connection with any of these songs, and I hope that maybe some insight into the songs helps you to connect with them more, or connect with them in a different way that you expected, or maybe inspires you to send it to someone else because you think they'll connect with my intention for the song. Most of all, everyone out there, stay safe, take care of yourself. If you feel bad, make art. Have a lovely new year. Mwah!